In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how we manipulate shapes tools and create shapes in Adobe Illustrator. So in my toolbox again, I'll see that I have a shapes tool, and when I click and hold on it, it allows me to create custom shapes. So we're going to tear this palette out. I can create a square. I can adjust that square's size and scale. If I want it to be a perfect square, then I'm going to hold my shift key down, and then it becomes perfect on all sides. I can create rounded corners, circles, or ellipses, polygons, and stars. You can also manipulate these tools, or rather, you can create these tools in a variety of other ways. So for example, if I click on the square tool and I just click, it's going to ask me how big do I want this square. So if I want it an inch by an inch, I would type in those numbers, click OK, and it will give me whatever measurement I punch in. With rounded corners, it's not only going to ask for the size of it, but it's going to ask how big do I want the corners. So if I want the corners to be 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch, that's basically going to give you a circle, but let's do something that's a little more that you could see. And so now it's given me 1 inch round corners. Same thing goes with the circle in terms of I can program if I want it to perfect or an ellipse. With my polygons, it's going to ask how many sides do I want as well as how big. So if I set this to 2 and then I set the sides to 10, then it's going to give me more multiple sides. Same thing with the star tool, is that I can click on it and it's going to ask me, similar to the circle tool, the radius. How big do I want this star? So we'll set it by 4. And then how many points do I want? Well, if I say 10, it's going to give me this kind of rounded edge, but I can also reduce the size of it and scale it down if I want. And I can also use the star tool to create, we'll drop this down by 1, to create bursts. If you want to create these kind of bursts, like if you're doing a sail or something like that, a starburst of some kind, the trick with a starburst is that the radius can't be perfect. So if you put in 2 inches and 2 inches, then it's going to give you a circle. So one of the radiuses has to be smaller than the other radius. So for example, we'll do 1 by 2 and reverse it. And you see that it gives you these bursts. And that's how we manipulate and create shapes in Adobe Illustrator.